and you will be glad to know that in our next class, you have to stand the place I am standing now. And you all will be called on by on the dais to deliver your speech about what do you do daily. I mean your daily work. You have to give a description of your daily activities. Understand? So, when someone will stand before you, you have to ask him, what do you do daily? আপনাদের সকলকেই প্রশ্ন করতে হবে। আপনাদের বন্ধু আসবে একজন এখানে, সে দাঁড়াবে, আপনারা সকলেই প্রশ্ন করবেন সমস্বরে যে we would like to বলুন তো we would like to know from you what do you do daily. তারপর সে তার বক্তব্য শুরু করবে। So now I'm going to start. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
I seek refuge in Allah from darkness Satan. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All the praises and thanks be to Allah, the creator of all the universe. May peace be upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the last messenger of the Almighty, guide of the Muslim Ummah, prophet of the prophets, teacher of the teachers, and the best human being ever in the human history. May peace also be upon his followers, companions, and may peace also be upon the whole humankind on the earth. Especially may peace be upon you. This is Mustafa Shrabun here, and I am highly honored. I am extremely honored to be standing before the students of Islamic University, as well as it's an honor for me to be speaking with you. Here, you would like to know about my daily work. It will be a great pleasure for me to share my daily work with you people today. So, I'm going to tell about my daily work. I generally get up early in the morning from bed. As you know, I'm a practicing Muslim, so I usually get up very early in the morning, and after getting up, I take my brush with paste and go to washroom for freshen up. Then I take ablution. After taking ablution, I return my room. I come back my room. Then I put on my traditional dress. And after putting on my traditional dress, I go to our mosque. You know, I stay in the hall, and my mosque is very near from my room. So after putting on my dress, I go to say my morning prayer. And after saying my morning prayer, I usually come back my room once again. Then I recite some verses from Al-Quran with English and Bangla translation. You know, morning exercise, especially exercise in the morning time, is very important. It's very good for our health. So I usually don't miss any day to take my exercise in the morning. So after reciting Al-Quran, I come out from my hall, and then I take a morning walk, walking around my campus about 30 minutes. And after that, you all know I am still a student of Islamic University, and my final year is going on. So I am really very busy about my job preparation. So without getting late anymore outside of my campus, I go back my hall once again. I take a little freshen up, and then I sit for my study. And I study around 2 hours in the morning time. By this time, I'm sorry, I have forgotten to tell you an important thing, that you know, I am a trainer of English language of my university, and I have a language center here. So I usually 4 days in a week I come here to take class on English language. And after finishing my class, I return my hall, and going there, I sit for my study first. And by this time, I take my breakfast also. And sometimes when I see that I have a class in the morning time, I take my bath very early, and putting on my formal dress, I go to my class in the very morning. And usually when I go to my department, I call some of my friends from my hall. You know, as I stay in the hall, I have many friends in my hall, in my next hall. So I call all of them and I go along with all my friends in my department. And down there, when I get to my department, I meet all my friends, I chat with them, I make fun with them, sometimes I gossip with them, sometimes I make a group study with them. And also, in my department, I usually enjoy all the lectures of my teachers because as we study in university, so we all know departmental class is very important for all the students to make a good result in your department. So I do so. I usually don't miss any class of my department. So I attend my class regularly. And in the middle of the class, when I get a break in my class, sometimes I go to seminar library for spending some time, for enjoying some time, as well as for reading some valuable books, for making a group study with my friends. And you will be glad to know that I am very fond of study. I am fond of reading. So sometimes I visit Central Library too for making higher note for my research. And by this time, when it is noon, I return my hall because it's time to say your Dhuhr prayer. So as I said, I am a practicing Muslim. So I return my hall and I say my prayer and then I take my lunch from the dining. And sometime after that, I take a nap. I take a little nap, but most of the time I don't take because after my lunch, I usually go to teach my student. I have a tuition this time. So I teach my student after my lunch. Ladies and gentlemen, in the afternoon time, what I do, usually, as I said, I'm a trainer of English language. So I have another batch in the evening time. So after saying my Asr prayer, I go to my campus once again and then I teach English language until evening. And when it is evening, I say my evening prayer in the central mosque. Usually I do it. And I always say that evening time is the best time for study. So after evening, I normally don't waste any time hanging out here and there or gossiping with my friend circle because I consider this time is the best time for my study. So after having a cup of tea, I come back my hall and I sit for my study. And I study around 10 p.m. And by this time, I also complete my dinner and I complete my study and also prayer too, Isha prayer. I complete Isha prayer. And in the night time, I have a group study with my friends. So some days, thrice in a week, I sit with my friends to make a group study in my hall mosque. And after that, family is the most important part of our life. So I usually call my family over the phone all the day, every day. I talk to my family over the phone, especially with my mother. And ladies and gentlemen, this era is the era of technology. So I never forget to keep myself updated about modern technology. So sometimes I browse internet to keep myself updated all the time. Sometimes I upload some posts in my Facebook timeline as well as I check my email address to know whether someone has sent me an email or not. And by doing so, when it is around 12 or 12:30 a.m., I get tired. So I think this is the best time to go to bed. So before going to bed, I clean my teeth once again. And after that, I turn the light off. And before turning the light off, I hang the mosquito net and I turn the light off. And finally, I go to bed for a tight sleep. So those are all about me, about my daily work. No more now. Thank you very much. Truly speaking, it was very nice time with you all. And it will be a part of my memory in my university. Once again, this was Mustafa Shabun with you, trainer of Irish Speakers Club, Islamic University, Bangladesh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.